So this is another solving for a specified variable. And I call it challenging problem because the ones that we had for the sample questions are going to be basic. This is one that has a set of parentheses. So this is the one I promised I would show you. This, if you didn't know, is basically Celsius equals 5/9 times whatever your Fahrenheit is minus 32. So this is basically how you would take Fahrenheit and convert it into Celsius degrees. Now, we want to solve for F. The reason why you might want to solve for F is because we can use that formula. If I know what the Celsius is, I can plug it in and figure out what the Fahrenheit is. But if you didn't care about that, all you need to realize that I just need to tweak this whole equation to get the letter F by itself. So there's my equal sign. So I have my left and the right hand side. So the first step, and finally we get to use this. We don't use that much. It says simplify. Remove any parentheses by distributing. Most formulas don't have parentheses. But if you do, we can distribute. You know how to multiply. Now the reason why I call this a challenging problem is because we have to multiply with a fraction. Now 5/9 times F, you can smush them together. So it'd be 5/9 F. Now 5/9 times 32, well, this is a positive times a negative, so you know there's going to be a negative. And then this is where it gets tricky. Because this was a whole number, notice I put it over 1, because I always multiply fraction with fraction. So when I do this, 5 times 32, put it in your calculator if you have to, 160. 9 times 1 is 9. Right? This won't reduce. We're going to leave it like this for right now. So no more parentheses. Next step, underline the variable that you're asked to solve for. Notice that we're asked to solve for letter F. So I'm going to underline the letter F. Right. The next thing that you want to do, moving. Remember, anything that's added or subtracted, see how that's subtraction? So then we're going to have to move this guy. So this subtraction is kind of like a negative for right this second. We're going to do the opposite, which means that you're going to add both sides by 1/69. So I'm going to add. And remember, it's a balancing step, so I have to do the same thing over here. They cancel out. So I have 5/9 F. Now on this side, remember, if you have a letter and a number, you can't add them, because that's kind of like a variable and a constant. So I told you, write it as a horizontal line, like that. We're gonna have to make some more room for y'all. So now that I have this, and I have this, then we need to get rid of this coefficient. And remember, because this is multiplication, the only way we can get rid of it is not by dividing, since it's a fraction, but by flipping it and you can see that this would be 9 times 5 is 45, 5 times 9 is 45, and 45 over 45 would reduce to just F. But if I multiply this side by 9/5, I have to multiply this entire side by 9/5. Kind of like when we were doing the dividing. Because there's 2 items here, I want to multiply both items by 9/5. So it's 9/5 times C. And then this 9/5 was this 160 over 9. So 9/5 times C, you just smush them together. And here, either multiply across, or some of you know that a 9 on top and a 9 on bottom would cancel out. So you would have 160 divided by 5, and 160 divided by 5 actually divides out to be 32. So let me clean this up a little bit. So here is our final answer. And this problem was the challenging because we had parentheses and fractions.